My mom and I visited with the INACCESSIBLE cancer 2 weeks ago, this past Friday. So this past Thursday, I was supposed to visit it with her again. Her husband was going to pick just me up, because my mom's friend at the last minute, and it turned out to be an unfortunate thing. It's all part of my thing I want to tell you guys. And when I visited Manuel's cancer, but remember, she's getting worse and worse every day. I stayed strong, but ahead of time I talked to her, and I told her, I'm probably going to cry, and she's like, it's okay, tears are good, Laura, it's okay to cry. Compare that to my mom went to my cousin, the one I don't want to see, the arrogant, devout Christian who treats me as if I'm 5 years old rather than a college honors graduate, and of course, as it's the case with all my family, lumps me in, my mom's, lumps me in as being just like my mother. So you understand that I wasn't even going to have anything to do with the INACCESSIBLE cancer, but months ago, okay, back when obviously she's approaching the end now, but I was still in the shelter, and I wrote a really nice typed letter that I even showed to one of my, people that we had groups there, whatever, but the woman who headed it, and she's like, oh, that gave me chills, Laura, it's beautiful, because I wasn't going to even meet with the INACCESSIBLE cancer. I told I had given up. You guys all rejected me in 2009. I had decided I was never going to see you again. I had to accept it, and then you got cancer and everything changed, but I wrote her, it was a full page typed thing, but there's no full thing to the cousin. I am not going to pretend. And my mom's like, what are you going to do at the funeral? I'm like, I don't even know if I'll go to the funeral, Mom. I want to, but I don't want to be around Marion. You have her anyway, you don't need me. Oh. But in any case, I wasn't up to going today, okay? But the husband's having problems, so if I want to see the INACCESSIBLE cancer before she dies. I wish I could have saw her this past Thursday. At the last minute, she had to cancel. I'm so sorry, Laura. I'd much rather see you, but they want me to come in for another operation that will release the gases in my stomach. But anyway, what I want to point out is that my aunt who has cancer told me it's okay to cry. Her daughter told my mom today, you make sure you don't cry around my mother. You want to stay strong and not upset her. By the time I get to see her, this week, I fortunately am getting together with my shelter friend for a few days. We're getting away. I'm paying for it. It's worked out good because I need to get away from my mother anyway. But I won't get to see the INACCESSIBLE cancer until the following week, hopefully, if she's still alive. And when I see her then, it's going to be a month from when I last saw her, and my mom sees her at church, and she's getting worse and worse. I probably will cry. But her daughter says to my mom, you make sure you don't cry. You don't want to upset my mother, I have to get out of here. My mom's turning on me. It was like she's not doing good. This just happened. Just this week. She went on a horrible vacation with her friend, and her friend didn't treat her good, and she came back and she's not been the same. This is her good friend. She shakes like this. She didn't do that the entire 7 she shakes like this. She says, because, I said, is that because of the medication you take? And she said, no, it's whenever anybody talks to me about the INACCESSIBLE cancer, you know, my mother. So she shakes like this, and then when I get upset with her, because she just won't leave me alone. You know, I'm like, I'm not gonna, yeah, just leave me alone. And she won't leave me alone. She'll be like, what'd you do with Omar's? I didn't take Omar's leash. You had it last, Mom. Where's my thing? I don't know, Mom. Leave me alone. I just want to watch my movie. You know, you're driving me nuts. And then I yell because you provoke me. She's shaking like this. This just started this week. She can't handle her sister dying, and neither can I. I can't handle my aunt dying and on top of what it's doing to my mom. I gotta get out of here. Where am I supposed to go? Certainly can't get my own apartment. Can't afford it, number one. Number two, my credit shot to hell. I maxed out. I mean, I owe I screwed over credit card companies. I have horrible credit. I'm sure I can get a room, though. Anyone can get a room where you just pay by the week, but those places are not very, you know, the clientele is not all that wonderful, to say the least. I can't stay here with my mom. I ripped the cell phone out of her hand because she can't be trusted. Do you understand? I tell the truth, but she lies. It's all like my other videos. It's all secrets and lies in my family. Nobody knows the truth. Nobody even knows what Marion did to my mother and I just that February, a few months ago. Of course we're going to hide it from the INACCESSIBLE cancer, you know, but it's just, I can't take it. You know? It's all just secrets. Nobody knows anything. They all lump me in as I'm just like my mother. I didn't want to see my cousin today that I haven't seen since she fucked me over in 2009. The only reason I'm having anything to do with the INACCESSIBLE cancer is because she's dying. These people broke my heart in 2009. These are people, my cousins, we were close like this when we were young. She's an arrogant, devout Christian now who treats me like I'm 5 years old, and I'm just like my mother. I'm a college honors graduate. Not only am I a college honors graduate, I've been writing songs and poems since I was 8 and 9 years old. I could write at that age creatively, creative writing in ways that the majority of adults now can't write, because most people can't write at all. That's not their mind. It's been mine since I was born. I mean, and I'm treated like I'm nothing. I have to get out of here. My mom screams at me to go live with my shelter friend. She's living with her own family member. She has her own shit. We can't get an apartment together. She couldn't even afford it right now anyway, and even though I can, but she smokes cigarettes. I wouldn't even date or even screw a billionaire, a multi-billionaire who smoked cigarettes. Well, maybe if he was good, I might, you know, go to bed with him once, but I wouldn't be any kind of girl ever. I'm allergic, just about. It's hell. I told my friend, I'm like, I'm paying for a little, you know, we're gonna get a local, we're gonna just get away for a couple days, whatever, you know, go to the beach, stay in a hotel, I'm gonna pay for it, I have enough money, you know. I told her, you can't smoke in the room. I'm getting asked her, actually. I'm sorry to, you know, I can't stand cigarette smoke. I made the decision that your friendship was worth it to me, but we're only in the shelter. We meet outside, so I only have to deal with the cigarette smoke outside in a park or whatever, you know. Never inside. When we're in the shelter, obviously the same thing. Can't smoke in the shelter, and you're outside, you know. So I can't stand cigarette smoke. I'm sorry. I can't. It makes me ill. I would never have a boyfriend who smokes cigarettes, and I wouldn't even normally have a friend, but she's worth it to me. I can't be around cigarette smoking in enclosed spaces. No way. Unfortunately, it's not allowed anymore. I go out drinking and dancing with her like I want to do, and I'll pay for it all. I don't have to worry because smoking is not allowed inside bars anymore, you know. I'm not a Nazi about it, but it makes me ill, you know. I'm happy that, you know, people have a right to smoke, but I have a right to not breathe it in public places, you know. My mom's losing it. It happened instantly. Complete turnaround. She went on a 3-day vacation from hell, and her friend apparently was yelling. She can't deal with anyone yelling at her. And then she's blaming me for stuff, and I yell at her. It's like, don't yell at me! But even if I don't yell, you understand? She'll say something ridiculous, Mom, just leave me alone. You find it yourself. You lost it, you find it, okay? Or whatever you can think of. And then when she keeps pushing it or provoking me or talking to me when I'm on the computer or trying to write an email to my friend or whatnot, and I tell her to leave me alone and she doesn't, that's when I raise my voice. You understand? It doesn't start off, but she'll tell the family that she's yelling at me all the time, you know? I mean, she lies, whereas I tell the truth. Her illness causes her to be selfish and to only say stuff in her best interest, to get sympathy or whatnot, whereas I tell the truth. I scared myself. I ripped the cell phone out of her hand. I have to get out of here, period. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to go live in a room around shady people, but, you know, I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. I can't stay here. I wasn't going to stay much longer anyway, and my shelter friend's like, yeah, you gotta get out, but I was gonna, this just happened this week. Just this week. She's completely changed. She acts like she does nothing wrong. If I point out anything wrong, oh, just shut up, Laura, just shut up, just get out, go live with it, get it, you know. Not apologetic, not caring, not acknowledging that she's doing anything even remotely crazy. Okay? These are the signs that used to happen before she had major breakdowns throughout my life when I was a kid and teenage, whatever. But she's on 3 powerful psych meds, so, I mean, you would think that would stop her from having another breakdown, but the power of her love for her sister just might send her over the edge. I hate to say it. I don't want to believe it. And I wouldn't have. Talk Salad wrote this last week or a couple weeks ago, whatever, and my mom was fine, and, you know, we'd argue sometimes, of course, she'd do weird, but she'd be sorry, and we'd hug, and I'd be sorry if I yelled, but no, this is different now. She's being obstinate, she's being stubborn, she's acting like nothing's wrong, like I'm just a crazy person accusing her of doing things she's not doing. I mean, I can't deal with it, I gotta get out of here. Where do I go? Where do I go? I gotta get out of here. She's provoking me. She's triggering, you know. Like I said, you asked my shelter friend, I behave normal. Sure, I'm eccentric, I'm a little strange, but I behave normal around her. My mother's illness triggers my own. It magnifies it, it intensifies it. And then I yell at her and that triggers hers. We can't be together. lonely. I just want to be touched. Take out a Craigslist ad, you know, I just want to be touched. I'll pay you $100 just to massage me in public, in a park, on the beach, anywhere. Ad was flagged within, and then I took it out. It was flagged like that. I didn't post a picture. I'd have everyone under the sun. If I'm going to pay, I want a hot guy, you know. So, as my shelter friend said, you know, all the unattractive guys, you know, they're the ones who flagged your ad, Laura, but whatever, you know. Whatever. And the one guy who was supposed to be a sure thing, I told him, alright, you know, I'm not going to have sex with you. I didn't want him to think I was leading him on. You know, it's a weird little thing I want done, you know. Massage my back, neck, and shoulders, and then periodically act like you're my boyfriend and nibble on my ear and lick my ear and kiss my neck and whatnot and talk dirty in my ear. And, you know, he might get the wrong idea and think that I'm like, what he doesn't realize is I'm paying you $100 for an hour. And it'll be longer if you want. I'm not going to pay you more than $100, but why can't that just be enough? And then you never know. There could be another time. There could be some future time that we have sex. I'm just telling you up front, I'm not going to have sex with you right when I meet you. No matter how much I might want to have sex with you, I'm not going to. And he felt, this is what I said, and then he didn't specify. It's just like, he wrote me, you know what, I'm not going to do this. I've changed my mind. And I wrote back, I'm like, God, I'm like, people never cease to amaze me. And then he wrote to me, he's like, well, I felt you were being rude in your email. Whatever. I'm rude because I tell the truth. I don't want you to get the wrong idea and then have it turn out bad that you're accusing me of leading you on when I didn't. I specifically said, I didn't say I'm looking for sex. And I'm paying you to touch me. And then her, you know, she's like, I'm yelling at her, yeah, because you're provoking me. I'll ask you to please leave me alone, and you won't do it. I'll be on my computer and say, please leave me alone, Mom. Please don't talk to me. And you won't just leave me alone. I can't take it. I really can't. Just got up to go to the bathroom. Hope she didn't hear me doing this video. I can't trust her anymore. Unfortunately, when she gets like this, she'll lie. Back in 2009, where I ultimately wound up on the streets after staying here because she'd begged me to, she lied to the family. She lied to the whatever. She'll lie to protect her own ass. It's her illness that causes her to do it, but I don't care because I'm the one who's gonna be screwed over.